Hi, I wanted to share something with you that I've been learning recently. I took a Coursera course called Accelerating Your Learning with ChatGPT. And the course was taught by two professors, Dr. Jules White and Dr. Barbara Oakley. It was very interesting because Dr. Oakley would explain the brain-based neuroscience behind learning, and then Dr. White would explain some of the artificial intelligence tools that could facilitate this learning. But what struck me as interesting, what I want to share with you, is something called the Flynn effect. And the Flynn effect, it relates to how IQ scores rose dramatically between 1930 and 1970. And that's been attributed to the introduction of formalized education. IQ scores went up as people were, getting regular exposure to instruction and education. But then in the 1970s, scores started to significantly decline. Even within families, IQ scores were dropping. And what they discovered was that this decline coincided with the introduction of calculators. And so there was a decreased emphasis on memorization and mental practice, and then a decline in IQ scores. So that is kind of interesting, and I think it has implications for us as educators. So we can't overlook the importance of this idea of active practice of remembering and recalling information. It really is vital for strengthening cognitive abilities, deepening understanding, and, really truly learning something. The idea of being able to retrieve information from your memory is important. It's important to learning, and this active engagement and this internal processing through recall is necessary for the kind of robust learning that we want. To contribute to long-term cognitive development. So I'm sharing that with you because sometimes when you think memorizing math facts, that's not important, it's more important to focus on problem solving. Absolutely, it's important to focus on problem solving, but there is real value and in recalling information, being able to access what you've learned, and that memory practice is quite important to cognitive development. Thought it was interesting, so just curious what you think. Hi teachers, I wanted to show you a way to use AI to help students with recall. This would be a great activity before a quiz or a test to help practice having them memorize information that you want them to know. So I just went to one of our teachers' Google Classrooms and I pulled out some vocabulary words that she was having them learn within their science unit. She was having them match them up to the definitions. So I just made a PDF of this. I downloaded the slide and made a PDF, and then you can go to whatever large language model you're using. In this case, I'm using Gemini, and I'm just going to attach the file. And once the file is attached, I give it a prompt: quiz me on these energy definitions. Ask me one question at a time. If I get it wrong, give me a hint before revealing the answer. So this could be something great to do with your students. So you could put this on the Promethean board and it will generate questions for them. So let's give it a try. So, okay, I'll quiz you on the energy definitions from the image you sent. Question 1. Which term refers to the transfer of thermal energy by gas or liquid? So I'm just going to put an incorrect answer here. I'm going to write thermal energy so we can see if it gives us a prompt. So I put in thermal energy and it says, that's not quite right. Thermal energy is related, but the question asks about the transfer of thermal energy in a specific way. Here's a hint. Think about what happens when you boil water in a pot. The hot water rises and the cooler water sinks. What is this process called? Oh, okay, it's not thermal energy. Maybe it's convection. Let's see if that's right. Yes, that's correct. The answer is convection. Would you like another question? And so you can proceed in this way. I hope that's helpful because we do know that recall of information is an important part of learning.